Hello, hello, hello. I have one thing on my mind tonight, and that's flowers, which happens a lot. And the other day, I made a heart full of flowers with a cross, and I kind of have that in mind. And this outline doesn't really matter technically because we go over. Oh, I'm hitting the hitting the camera. Go over the edges. So, if you haven't joined before, I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 11 and has autism. And I paint with him, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds, and then I paint the rest. And so I am painting. I am painting flowers. I paint a lot of flowers. When I first started painting, I painted a lot of roosters. And now I paint a lot of flowers. And I'm not sure that I'm going to keep this one the way this is, but I'm just kind of checking out the colors and seeing what I like and what I'm thinking about. I can't decide. I had one thing in my mind, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do something different tonight, and then that didn't really happen. And then it got later in the night, and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I've been painting every day for years and years now, so I paint every day. And that kind of is where I'm at here. So I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of random flowers, and the leaves don't matter because I do this a lot. I put things in the wrong spots or places that they don't really belong like that. It'll get covered up or it doesn't. It's okay. It will all work out in the wash, as they say. And so then I come down here and I'm gonna have like kind of an extra little flower, and then, you know, it'll go out of the point a little. It's okay. And I tend to, when I'm painting flowers, painting a lot of things, I don't change brushes that often, or sometimes not at all, like this. And so that, I like, if you've not watched one of my videos before, I like watching paint dry, and that's literally my thing. I like to watch how the colors kind of all mix together and what happens. And so you can see like the reds and stuff, it just kind of falls off the paintbrush, and that's okay. So, and I do it in layers sometimes, depending. No surprises, I was not officially taught how to paint. I just do it from my heart. I just do painting, you know, and my son is part of this journey, and so since we paint together, this whole thing is part of him, and that's, to me, that's like the most important part. And so it's just kind of how I tell more about our autism journey and what we go through and what he deals with and what I deal with. Emotions, that's like a big thing. He lost one of his teeth today, and when he's lost some of the other ones, all of the other ones, it didn't bother him or faze him at all. And today he got very upset about me wanting to give his tooth away to he always calls it the pirate tooth fairy. And he, for whatever reason today, he wanted to hide his tooth, but not give it to the tooth fairy. And he's pretty good about not, like, this is, as soon as I say this, then this is not right, because he wants to put things in his mouth, but he's pretty good about not putting things in his mouth. But with, like, his tooth, that's his tooth, so it came out of his mouth. But he's wanted to trade it for stuff before, and this time he wanted none of that. He wanted nothing to do with trying to trade his tooth. Usually he wants a lollipop, a pirate coin, and then a new hat or something else. And nope, none of that. So we got through that. He was quite upset that I was even attempting to take his tooth. And I was going to let him hide it, or let him get, a toy or something from it, but he had something else in mind. And that's the hardest thing, is I didn't know what he wanted from me or wanted from it. And so trying to figure out how to help him through those moments, that's kind of hard, because I really didn't know how his emotions were feeling, or what he really, was thinking about, or what, it could have been as something where he wanted to put it in his room, or just think about it for a while. It's just really something that I couldn't even begin to guess. And so once he calmed down, he didn't even really want to see his tooth again. Like, once he realized that I was going to give him anything or try to get the tooth fairy, he told me to not give him anything. He didn't want it, and he let go of the tooth, and that was it. And so I'm at a loss for what he wanted with it this time, especially since once he started really understanding about the teeth, he has constantly wanted to give it to me, to work with me to give it to the tooth fairy. And so I wish he could, I can tell I'm tired because I keep saying "and so." It's a very long sentence. It's a very long run-on sentence. And so. But he just wanted that tooth, so I didn't say "and" that time. But my poor baby, it's hard, because I don't know how to explain things like that to him, that we don't, keep teeth. And technically there was no reason to not let him have it for a few minutes, but again, just kind of making sure that it was where it was supposed to be, kind of thing. It's very colorful, very colorful. Now, the other night when I did this, I kept trying to decide if I wanted to do the cross. I did one with a cross, a little bit smaller heart, but cross. You can see these little bubbles. The paint is reacting to all the humidity and lack of humidity and everything else in between. So there's little bubbles. But I'm trying to decide if I want to do it again. Or if I just want to leave it I might wanna. I didn't quite make it as like full, like to make it more of a heart. Like I have to stick it out a little bit more here, which it technically doesn't really matter because we all know it's a heart, right? But let's see if I can add just a little extra weight to it. And see, I was thinking about doing just kind of the cross like here. I kind of offset it a little bit, and this is what I go back and forth on. Like I just try to do something. So let's see here if I do it. If I do it, the cross, it would be across here and then and down. Okay, we're going for it. I gotta figure out where I wanna. So we're gonna go. I have to think because I don't want to. Yeah, and this is what I say. We just keep going to wherever we go, and then so we kind of pull the other colors in there, and that's okay because I do this a lot. See that first flower? Doesn't really matter at this point. That happens a lot when I paint. I used to worry about, like, I shake a little bit when I with my hands. That I'm not very steady, and so between that and just painting skills, like I've been painting every day for years now because it's an art to get to the art of painting, and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to grow and still trying to figure out the emotions of painting and everything. So learning, that's what I'm doing. And so whatever you paint, that's the greatest thing about this, is you can find a new canvas, a new block of wood, a new plate, a new something to continue to paint and change your design. So go for it. If you've not painted before and you want to paint, go for it. If you've painted and it's been a long time, go for it. Just try it again. Do it again. I always put O for Owen and then LB, and he's the foundation. He's the reason I started painting. So he is right there. And that's part of this journey is painting with him and looking at this and being able to say, okay, well, I painted with my son. So that is it. Sometimes I feel like I should do a little, see, we got paint, but I think I'm just gonna leave it as it is. And if you've watched before, I've been using the extra paint and making these magnets, and I've got some jewelry and different, see, I hit you guys went flying. But this is the extra paint, and then I just kind of mush it together. Mush is the technical term. And that will dry in a couple days, and then I can put it in the jewelry. So we just make little designs. And this is parchment paper. I think early on I called it wax paper, which is technically a little bit different. I think that's the swirls. But it's all about the same. I think plastic might work kind of better, but this works. So that's that. And that will dry in a couple days. And there's my flowers. See, this is what it looks like when it dries. And then I peel it and use it for the things. So, all right. Well, we'll see what tooth experiences we have tomorrow. So, one day at a time, and just keep pushing forward. Thanks so much for watching. Toodles!